on in the room. Super excited for everyone to be here. And let's go ahead and start the recording as well.
Recording in progress.
All right. So we are glad and we are excited to be back for an amazing session 2 of the Published and Paid 5-day challenge, where you're going to get the step-by-step coaching to get the clarity and the confidence that you need to start and write your book, even if you have been struggling for years. My name is Jasmine Womack, and I am extremely excited to be here with you again tonight. We have someone's mic who is unmuted. All right. We are extremely excited to be here with you tonight. Again, if you are joining us in the Zoom room, please make sure that you pay attention and keep your mic muted, or we will have to exit you out of the Zoom room. You can still watch on Facebook, but you just won't be able to watch here and participate here with us. Super excited. Super excited. Make sure that you have your workbook, of course, as you learned from yesterday. Make sure that you also have some additional paper so that you can take additional notes, because I'm almost certain that you are going to need that additional space and those additional notes tonight. So if you're joining us in the Zoom room, if you're joining us in the Facebook group or on LinkedIn or YouTube right here, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited to be back tonight, and we have a lot to cover. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get started right now. Now, I know yesterday we talked about the understanding the published and paid mindset. That's what we talked about yesterday, right? So just really quickly in the chat, what were some of your takeaways from yesterday's session? Now that you've had an opportunity to just kind of marinate on it, now that you've had an opportunity for the information to settle, some of you may have gone back to listen to the training again, or to make sure that you completed your notes. Definitely, please share some of your takeaways from yesterday's session in the chat. So right now we're just doing some really quick takeaways and reflections from yesterday. All right. So they say, Sharon says, it's not about you. Martha says, step out of your fear and walk in your faith. TJ Buchanan Robinson says, write to the me that needed to hear this 3 to 5 years ago. Cassandra says, be willing to be the hero. Amber says, conquering your fears. Latanya says, it's okay to be a leader and a disruptor. Melissa says, the opportunity of being a disruptor to change the trajectory of people's lives. Lindia says, leaders are disruptors. Absolutely. Amazing takeaways, guys. Mary says, are you a follower or a leader? That was your takeaway. Disruption is necessary. Make a worldwide impact and help to inspire others. And probably one of the most important lessons is to give your readers a solution. You have to give your readers a solution. Melanie says, combine my story with strategies to provide a breakthrough. Yes, yes, yes. Gwendolyn says, your book should solve a problem. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, all good takeaways. Leslie says, why not me? Why not me? Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, so many good takeaways, so many great takeaways. Ariel says, commit to a bigger vision. Dr. D in the house says, a solution should be the focus of the book. Mary says, who can I help? Cicely, I'm a disruptor and I'm committed to the bigger picture. So many amazing takeaways, and I'm glad that you all had an opportunity for the information to kind of just settle, to think about the work that we did last night. I know that for many of you, it was a shift. Many of you, it was a shift in a different direction. It was a shift from maybe that you came in here with. And I just want to first give you a kudos for being open to doing something different, giving you a kudos to being willing to think about doing things in a different way than you may have thought about them before. Because I know for some of you, it uprooted you. For some of you, it means that you have to go back to the foundation to like really think about what you're going to write about and really clarify that. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. So for those of you all who are new to me, my name is Jasmine Womack, and I'm the CEO of the Impact Group. I'm a writing consultant. We're a writing consultancy and digital business growth company where we help leaders and entrepreneurs transform their $1 million message into a best-selling book. And once you're published, we help published subject matter authors generate 6 figures or more by transforming their book into digital courses and coaching programs. So before we begin, if you'd like to receive the text updates, if you'd like to actually come onto the Zoom sessions with us, make sure you text #booked, #BOOKED to 404-341-4340. Okay, #booked. Can one of the coaches put it in the chat, please? #booked to 404-341-4340. All right, if you'd like to get the text message takeaways, and if you'd like to actually come into the Zoom session with us, #booked to 404-341-4340. The links will be sent directly to your phone. Reminders will be sent directly to your phone. And then you'll also have an opportunity to be updated about the other things that we're going to have going on. All right. So excited to be here tonight. Kicks off session 2 of the Published and Paid 5-Day Challenge. If you enjoyed session 1 yesterday, put a 1 in the chat. If you enjoyed session 1 yesterday and you learned something from it, put a 1 in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I see the chat flooding with 1s on Zoom. And today we're going to take it a step further. Today we're going to build off of the work that we created yesterday, right? That we started yesterday. Each day builds on the previous session. But before we begin, we're going to take a moment to set our intentions. We're going to take a moment. You can say a personal word of prayer. Set your intentions for our time together. This is your time. You've been busy working all day, doing things for everybody else, but now it's your time to do something for you and for your future. So we're going to pause for a moment of silence to say a personal prayer and to set a moment and to set your intention for the work that you want to do and for what you want to get out of our time today. Amen. All right. Okay, guys, let's hop into it. All right. So today is all about the author's code of confidence. Today is all about the author's code of confidence. So in today's session, you are going to learn the author's code of confidence and how it will help you share relatable stories and life-shifting strategies. You're also going to learn how to bring it in to the start, stop, start cycle. We talked about that yesterday, that endless cycle that many of you all have been on for years and years. And you're also going to learn how to carry the torch of responsibility and act on it, and understanding how that's going to boost your confidence with actually doing something that you've never done before. So one of the things about tonight's session is that one of the things that I know without a shadow of a doubt, based on what's come through in the chat on all the platforms, based on some of the things that you shared with us in your homework assignments, is that many of you have been either struggling with motivation, perfectionism, and or procrastination at times. Motivation, perfectionism, and procrastination. If that's you, put a P in the chat. LinkedIn and YouTube, can you guys hear me? All right, we see the P's coming through the chat. LinkedIn and YouTube, if you can hear me, put a yes in the chat. Someone said they can't hear. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear. I see all the P's coming through. You've been either struggling with motivation, perfectionism, or procrastination. I know that many of you all also have so many book ideas inside of you. And you're trying to figure out, or you've been trying to figure out how exactly when and how and where to start in the process, especially those of you all who tend to go down the Google rabbit hole or the YouTube rabbit hole, and you think that you're going to find a few solutions, but the information becomes so cumbersome and overwhelming that you don't even know how to start. Well, I've done this. Well, what do I do next? How can I find somebody to work with that's trustworthy? How can I find an editor that I really know that they're going to do right by my book? Because I have friends that have self-published books and they hired editors who did a crappy job. All of the questions, right? Those of you all who may be writing a story of a personal nature may be wondering how much of your story to share and how much to talk about, especially when it involves other people. Is this you? Especially if it involves something with your career. Is this you? You don't want to incriminate anyone, but it's your story. Where do you start? How much to tell? Are you going to upset people? Can you get in trouble for talking about that? All of the questions. I know that if you're here, then you know that you've been feeling like you're meant to do more, but you simply don't know how to get to the more in a way that is not overwhelming. And I know that some of you have been trying to fit everything that you know, everything that you've done, your entire life, your entire professional experience, all inside of one book. And it's too much, right? So here are a few things that I want you to remember. Number one, if you didn't have what it takes, you would have never had the desire. If you didn't have what it takes to actually accomplish this goal, you would have never had the desire to do this in the first place. And when you have many ideas, I want you to focus on one. And that is the one idea, the one comment, the one main idea that you know like the back of your hand, the one that you can tell effortlessly, the one that you can talk about effortlessly, the one that you can teach effortlessly, the one that you've probably already been talking about and teaching to people, but you've just been doing it for free, under the guise of talking to a friend, under the umbrella of mentoring someone, under the umbrella of trying to help such and such who you know who's going through the similar problem. You have to understand that there is power in one. Spell it out in the comments. That's why I have y'all saying one tonight. Spell it out in the comments. One. There is power in the one. One focus. One focus. One book. One audience. One topic. There is power in the one. And anytime you begin veering off and you become tempted to start writing about a lot of other things, I want you to come back there to that space of one and stay focused. Focusing on one allows you to do several things. Okay. Focusing on one of the coaches type this down in the chat, please. Focusing on one allows you to do several things. Have a clear objective. Focusing on one allows you to have a clear objective. Focusing on one helps you to realistically see how you can finish. Focusing on one allows you to stand out in your industry. I'm going to repeat those. Focusing on one allows you to do several things. Have a clear objective, helps you to realistically see how you can finish, and allows you to stand out in your industry. So this is where we have to begin shifting our mindsets. This is where we have to begin shifting how we think about things and how we look at things. Because it doesn't take a long time to write a book. It doesn't. Regardless of what you may have heard, regardless of what you may have been taught, regardless of what you may have thought, regardless of what your friends may, regardless of, things that your friends may have said, or however long it may have taken one of your friends. Thanks, Coach Mike and Coach Tanya in the chat for putting those down. It doesn't take a long time to write a book. Yes, you can write a book in less than a year. Yes, you can write a book in less than 90 days. I've had clients that have done it in 6 weeks, book in hand, and have gotten corporate contracts with those books. What you need in order to accomplish this is a clear plan and a completion strategy. A clear plan and a completion strategy is all it takes. That's all it takes. So you have to know that you will get there, you will get to the destination, and you can do this. All right. So I'm going to take a moment. If you're on the Zoom, I'm going to share my screen. And if you're tuning in from LinkedIn or YouTube, you can just follow along, especially if you have the workbook. So I'm going to share my screen. Are you all able to see my screen at this time? Let me know if you're able to see my screen. Okay, cool. All right. So the author's code of confidence includes 4 elements. The first element is clarity. The second element is conviction. The third element is commitment. And the fourth element is confession and completion. Okay. The author's code of confidence includes 4 elements: clarity, conviction, commitment, and confession and completion. So let's talk about this for a moment. Okay. Clarity, conviction, confession, and completion. What is it? Clarity is understanding your topic, your purpose, and the goal of your book. Coaching team, we have some people on Zoom who may need to be exited from the Zoom chat because their mics are off. We're getting some feedback. Clarity is understanding your topic, the purpose, and the goal of the book.
I'm not sure I understand.
Conviction is the conduit to your calling. Conviction is the conduit to your calling. When you're convicted about what it is you're creating, when you're convicted about what it is you're writing, this means that you believe in what you are doing. You believe in what you are teaching. You believe in what you are creating more than anyone else will. And this is what is required for you if you want to have success. Let's talk about commitment. Commitment is deciding to embrace your destiny and do whatever it takes to accomplish this goal. Whatever it takes, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, you are committed to accomplishing. You are committed to finishing what you started. Commitment. A lot of people say they want to do a lot of things, And they like the idea of doing it, but they're not really committed to the journey of it. They're not really committed to the process of it, because as soon as one thing happens, as soon as any type of disappointment happens, as soon as any type of setback happens, they quit. As soon as things begin to get a little bit uncomfortable or there's some discomfort there, you quit. That's not commitment. So if you want to step into that space of commitment, that means that you have to make it up in your mind that you are going to embrace your destiny and do whatever it takes to accomplish this goal. And what a lot of people tend not to understand is that when you commit to something and then you accomplish it, that boosts your confidence. A lot of people tend to lack confidence because we never follow through, or we struggle to follow through on the goals that we set before us. And so you've created a habit of quitting. And what happens is that you're not where you want to be. Because the moment that resistance came in, the moment that challenges came in, you fell back. But the only way to achieve success is to take the challenge head on and to go through it. And when you go through it and you grow through it, your confidence increases. So the fourth element of the author's code of confidence is confession. Confession and completion. Confession, speaking progress, speaking positivity over your life, speaking progress, speaking positivity over your goals, despite what it looks like, despite what it feels like. And I saw, and this is not to call anyone out, but this is where like a mindset reframe has to come in, because some of us are so used to downing ourselves and saying what we don't have, but the mindset reframe is to actually speak what you do have. Focus on what you do have. You have to speak progress and positivity over your life. Let me tell you something. When you embark on the path to becoming a best-selling author and writing a book and doing this thing that you've wanted to do for quite some time, you don't think that people are going to say negative things to you? You don't think that some people are going to have some things to say? That's why you have to be clear. You have to be convicted. You have to be committed, and you have to confess. You can't expect for anyone else to pour into you more than you are pouring into you. You can't expect anyone else to motivate you more than you are motivating you. You can't expect anyone else to fill in the gaps and be committed to the process more than you are committed to the process. Like we're gonna have to show up. We have to. Clarity, conviction, commitment, confession. And when you are clear, you have conviction about what you're doing, you're committed to the process, and you constantly speak positively over yourself, and you stay the course, you will complete it. All right? Your story is your superpower. And this is what will be the stepping stone to your success. Your story is your secret superpower and will be your stepping stone to success. All right. So here's the thing. You may have plenty of ideas, but you must be sure to select your very best topic. The topic that you know the most about, the topic that you have the experience in, you've been in it, out of it, you can write the book about it. Now it's time for you to write the book about it. Now it's time for you to teach others the strategies that you implemented into your life and into your business, into your relationships, into your career to get the shifts and the breakthroughs that you've gotten up until this point. So the topic that you know the most about and is the easiest for you to write about, that's what you need to write about. And it also, one thing that we have to make sure we do, we have to make sure that we position this to ensure that it's something that other people will pay to learn. Because you want to sell your book, you want to go on to create, speak, to get book to speak, coaching, courses, back-end products, beyond the book products and services, right? So what you're writing about needs to be a topic that people are willing to pay for. They're willing to pay to learn more about it. They're willing to pay to get the help that they need. How do you ensure that? How can you check for that? Like, and this is where we have to start shifting our mindsets. Like, there's no such thing as a crowded industry. The fact that other people may be writing on or may have written about the same topic and have had success lets you know that there is a market already existing that is buying. They're willing to pay for that solution. Does this make sense, everyone? Now, one of the number one questions that you will receive as an author is, what is your book about? This is one of the number one questions that you'll receive as an author. What is your book about? Being able to answer this question clearly and succinctly allows you the opportunity to own your topic, and the byproduct is that you'll have an increase in confidence, because this is what we're talking about. Okay, this is what we're talking about, the author's code of confidence. So the typical author responds to this question, what is your book about? The typical author responds to this question with the lack of clarity. They respond with a jumbled, muddled mess. Well, it's about this and it's about that. And you see, I just wanted to inspire this person and that person. I'm talking about this and that. And you have these long, drawn out explanations. And the person that you're talking to, they're sitting there looking you in your face, probably going, nodding, but their mind is somewhere else because you lost their attention, because you were long-winded and you couldn't, and you could not easily and succinctly answer the question. And you may know exactly what I'm talking about because it may have happened to you, where you asked somebody, hey, what is your book about? And then they went on this long entire tangent. And you ended up more confused after they finished talking than you were before you asked them. I'm just saying that you do not want that to be you. You do not want that to be you. Right? So you want to use this method called the ADA method, Audience Description Action Method. All right? This is a method that I teach some of my paying clients to help them create their power positioning statement, in which they're able to explain in 10 seconds or less exactly who their book is for and how their book helps their audience. All right. So you use this framework, audience, description, action. My book helps the audience. Then you describe what your book helps the audience with. And then you complete the sentence by sharing the intended outcome of the book. All right. Is everybody with me? Everybody with me? All right. So I have some examples for you. All right. So I have my book here. My book, Published and Paid. Published and Paid, write, self-publish, and launch your nonfiction book in 90 days or less. published and paid. I have my book published and paid. So using the ADA method, my book helps aspiring nonfiction authors, that's the audience, understand the writing and self-publishing process. That's me describing what my book helps the audience with. So they can write, self-publish, and launch their book in 90 days or less. That's the intended outcome. My book helps this group do this so they can accomplish this result. This is the formula. I'm going to go over that again. My book, published and paid, helps aspiring nonfiction authors understand the writing and self-publishing process so they can write, self-publish, and launch their book in 90 days or less. I broke it down. I told you the title of the book. I told you in one sentence who the book is for. I told you in one sentence how this book helps the reader and what the intended outcome is after they read the book. Okay? That's example number one. All right? Example number two is one of my clients' books, Dr. Ramon Goings, 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation. 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation. All right? 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation helps doctoral students, that's the audience, navigate the dissertation process. That's what the book helps the audience with. So they can finish their dissertation and earn their doctoral degree in less than 1 year. That's the intended outcome. 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation, or if Dr. Ramon was speaking, he'd say, my book helps doctoral students navigate the dissertation process so they can finish their dissertation and earn their doctoral degree in less than 1 year. This is the ADA method, audience description action. Explain your audience, describe what your book helps the audience with, and then explain the intended outcome. This is going to ensure that everything in your book is streamlined. This is going to ensure that the content in your book is leading your reader toward that end goal. Because if you find yourself writing content or coming up with something that has absolutely nothing to do with this power positioning statement, then you know that you were off track and you need to get back on track. ADA method, audience description action. If I have any other authors or self-publishers watching this and you decide to use this, please credit me because it is copyrighted. My framework is copyrighted. I would hate for you to be in error of copyright infringement. I don't mind if you use it, but if you use it to teach it to your clients, just make sure you credit me with it. Okay? Audience description action method. All right. So when you follow this ADA framework, it's going to help you develop your power positioning statement. You can see right now how having clarity increases your confidence, because now when someone asks you what your current book is about or what your future book is about or what your upcoming book is about, you can clearly explain it without confusion. You can clearly explain it without being long-winded or without tripping up over your words. And having strategies like this positions you as an authority in your field. And of course, it increases your confidence because now it's like people like, oh, I need that book. It helps you to position yourself as an expert and as an authority in your industry, because now you're able to communicate. Now you're able to articulate what it is you're doing. This is not an elevator speech. It's a positioning statement, because this is how you're able to share to the podcasters. This is how you're able to share to the media. This is how you're able to position yourself on your website, what your book is about. One of our clients, one of our graduates, Monica Langan, she's one of the graduates of one of our Impact University programs. She secured 5 coaching clients and a $25,000 online counseling contract based off of a summary of her book, based off of her power positioning statement, and a very strong synopsis. I just want to give you that food for thought. If you are able to create the concept of the book and you are able to communicate what it's about, and you go get the book cover done, you go get a book cover design with the title, the subtitle, and you're able to clearly explain and discuss what it's about, you can begin making pre-sales from your book while you're still even writing your book. So we talk about becoming published and paid. In order to get paid, you have to have clarity and you have to be able to communicate confidently about what it is you're doing. So many authors make the mistake of waiting until the very end and waiting until they're done writing, waiting until they have books printed to even begin talking about the book. All you need is this power positioning statement and a book cover, and you can begin promoting. You can begin pitching yourself. You can begin securing pre-orders. You can begin you can create a speaking topic around the concept of what it is you're talking about in your book. I don't want you to think that you have to wait. No, the moment that you think about writing, your marketing begins. And this is a foundational element of marketing. That's why when people come to me and they're like, well, I'm behind. I already have a book published and I only need help with my marketing, but they're not able to clearly and succinctly tell us what their book is about and position themselves from a space of power and authority. You have to go back to the drawing board because you're not even ready for marketing strategies and all the things. We got to get the foundation solid. So I want you to consider what problem does your book solve? Consider the challenges that your reader is facing and consider the impact of your reader's life. Consider the impact on your reader's life, their career, their finances, and relationships of your reader after they've read your book and gotten results. Just know that your goal won't accomplish itself, and also know that someone else's destiny is tied to your obedience. All right. So I want you to remember that sharing, teaching, and talking about your expertise is stronger and more important than any obstacle that you've allowed to hold you back. It's stronger, more important than any obstacle that you've allowed to hold you back. And so as you continue on this journey, you will need to develop your own code of confidence. And having these elements in place will help you to grow in confidence, will help you to have more clarity, and will help you to communicate your expertise and your experience from a position of authority and power. So when we talk about our code of confidence, right? I want you to create a code of confidence. And this is your homework for tonight if you are looking in the workbook for your day 2 assignment. So here's my personal code of confidence. My code of confidence, this is the thing I come back to. This is like my mission statement. All right. So my code of confidence says, I have been called to help women in leadership and business allow themselves to shine, share their stories, and build impactful platforms so they can change the world while creating a legacy of financial freedom for themselves and their families. I attract the best clients, those who take their mandate and calling seriously. My clients are committed to themselves and they are committed to producing a high quality of work. I am committed to becoming the very best version of myself and to help others step into their calling so they can impact the world. This is my code of confidence. This is my mission statement. When I wake up in the morning, this is part of the affirmations that I speak. I'm speaking. I'm speaking positivity over my life. I'm speaking positivity over my business. I'm consistently affirming myself of the work that I am here to do. So you have a couple of homework assignments tonight, guys. One is that I want you to create your own power positioning statement using the ADA method. I think y'all already knew it was coming. This is not written in your workbook, but I want you to do this. I want you to take a couple minutes tonight and do this. Coach Mike is going to post a homework post in the Facebook group for session 2. So make sure that you post your homework under that post. So I want you to create a power positioning statement using the ADA method. And I want you also to write and create your own personal code of confidence. If you have the workbook, you already have the page and the script here for you. You just have to go in and fill it out. All right. So your personal code of confidence is a statement of affirmation. This is where you will share what you're called to do, who you are called to serve, and you will state your level of commitment to yourself and to your goals. I want you to post this in the group under the session 2 homework post. And then also let us know how you felt about today's session. All right. So I'm excited to, this concludes session 2 of the Published and Paid Challenge. Was tonight valuable for you? Did you learn something? Make sure that you just drop it down in the chat. Let us know your biggest takeaway from tonight down in the chat. Okay. If you have the workbook, the homework is in the workbook. If you don't have the workbook, make sure that you go and print it off. All right. We keep getting questions about the replays. The replays are sent to your email every day. This is also being streamed in the Facebook group. This video will stay in the Facebook group up until tomorrow. All right. Even when it's removed from the Facebook group, you can still check it out because the link to the replay page will be sent to your email. We put all the videos on a replay page and we send it to your email every single morning. So remember, this is where we have to start stepping into some accountability. I'm here to share the information with you, but you still do have to do the work. So if you're checking your emails, make sure you check your spam. Make sure you check your junk folder. Okay. And I know some of you all, plenty of you probably need to go back and listen to this again, but the replay is in the Facebook group and it will also be sent to your email tomorrow morning. I'm looking in the chat now. You said mind blowing. Oh, thank you. The ADA format was very helpful. Someone else's destiny is tied to your obedience. You love the power positioning statement. Say you learned a ton of information. Audience description and action. TJ says the ADA method and that marketing can start even when you're still writing the book. Absolutely. The marketing begins when you start writing the book. Too many people start marketing late. But if you don't have clarity with what you're talking about, then none of the marketing efforts are going to matter. Communicating the vision. You said a lot of tea was served, so you have to listen to the replay. Someone else's destiny is tied to your obedience, commitment to your goal, and the ADA method. I see that y'all like the ADA method. Your biggest takeaway is that you build strength when speaking about your book and that you need to establish your code of confidence immediately and build on that. Yes, establish your code of confidence, meditate on that, speak it every single day. Lakeisha said the power of one. The power of one. If you're on LinkedIn and you're not able to hear the audio, you may have to click your audio so that it can open up for you, because I think everyone else on LinkedIn and YouTube can hear. Miriam says, I cannot expect anyone to pour into me more than I pour into myself. Absolutely. All right. So I see that you all like the ADA method. I'm glad that that was very helpful for you. All right. Super excited. And I'm just blessed to be here to serve. Remember, tomorrow is our double header day. So I'll actually be in the Facebook group at 12 noon. Okay. Coach Tanya, can you hear me on LinkedIn? Because I'm assuming you can, because I see you typing in notes there. But tomorrow's going to be a double header. I'm going to be in the Facebook group for a lunch and learn, and then we will meet at 8 p.m. as well for our training. I'm actually going to be doing a bonus training tomorrow. Everyone, I will not be streaming on YouTube or LinkedIn tomorrow at 8 p.m. It will only be on Zoom. So make sure that if you're on the email list or on the text list, you go ahead and register for our 8 p.m. session tomorrow. LinkedIn is in and out. Okay, we'll have to figure that out and figure out what's going on with that. Okay. The 12 noon training will stay in the group. Tomorrow's 12 noon training will be all about how to get off of the writer's block. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a bonus training where I'm going to be going in deep. So just make sure that you come ready to learn. Okay. All right. All right. All right, guys. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you all tomorrow. You all have a great evening.
Recording